Namyo Renge Kyo, Namyo Renge Kyo, Namyo Renge Kyo. I didn't start at the top of the mountain. I started at the bottom, in the shit, in the mud, in the suffering, and where I couldn't tell the difference between who I was and what I was becoming. The nasty person that I had become. They say that climbing the mountain's about strength, but this mountain, this was different. This was the mountain of my addiction. All the alcohol, all the drugs, all the pain, all the blackouts, the waking up, not remembering, waking up in police cells, waking up in places I didn't really want to be, becoming somebody I didn't know and I didn't want to be. Every step I took seemed to lead further into the chaos, into the guilt and the shame and the self-hate and loathing, into my own kind of living hell. There are nights I just don't remember, and mornings I felt so bad, it was suicidal. Never again, I'd say. People would tell me all the horrible things I did to other people, all the damage I caused the night before. All the people I hurt, including myself, of course. That's the bit people don't really like to talk about, is it? The darkness. Because addiction doesn't just destroy you, it destroys everything. It destroys all your personal, intimate, loving relationships, the people who are close to you. It destroys it. It breaks trust. It leaves deep scars. Emotional. And all those in places you can't see, in deep places. But sometimes I knew what right and wrong was, but I still couldn't stop. I knew I shouldn't be like that. That's the prison I was trapped in. That's the chaos. That's the madness. I was in the madness. I wanted to change, but I was completely unable to. I went to NACAAA. I tried everything. I wasn't even in the foothills of the mountain. I was buried underneath the mountain, deep in my own personal hell of incessant suffering. There was no light. I had no direction. I just became more nihilistic, suicidal, and couldn't see the point. Everything was pointless. It was just pain. And then the cycle would reoccur again and again. I'd binge, I'd create chaos, I'd hurt myself, I'd hurt others, and then it was no more. That's it, ever. That's it, I finished, I quit. I'm not going to be that person. And then what would happen? Relapse. Back to doing the same thing, over and over. And I was losing myself. I was becoming someone I didn't know, and I was becoming someone I didn't want to know. I thought I was becoming evil. I was a nasty person when I was using and drinking. But what I couldn't see within that, something that Buddhism told me, was that something inside me never is destroyed by all the negative stuff. Even deeper, 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 underneath the pain, underneath the addiction, underneath my shame, my guilt, my self-hate, beneath the wreckage of my life. That's what happened. My life became a total wreck. There was something pure, untouched, eternal, something that I could awaken. My Buddha nature. When I heard this philosophy, I was dubious. Can it be? Is it true? Is it true that I could be Buddha, I can be awakened, I can become enlightened, I can change? I could stop hurting people. I could stop self-harming myself. I could stop killing myself. Part of me thought I deserved to die. Part of me, that was the sickness, thought I didn't. How can this be within my life? But there was a turning point. My rehab was called Turning Point, was run by Turning Point. But there was a turning point in my life. The pain, the existential pain of it all, the exhaust, it was exhausting. I thought, I can't go on living like this. I have to do something. I have to change. What can I do differently? I tried doing it in the community. I tried NA. I tried CA. I tried AA. None of it seemed to work for me. I kept relapsing. I didn't know how to stop. So at one point I thought, I need help. I was that desperate. I got to the point I just thought, I need help. So I went and I asked. I went to my local service, my drug and alcohol service. I took that step and I asked for help. They said, Mr. Webb, you're exactly the type of person we're here to support. And when I explained my situation, they said, we can put you in rehab. And I thought, wow, that's something different. I've never done that before. Let's do it. So in rehab, you have to face the truth. You have to own it. You have to take the bull by the horns. You're not running away. Well, you can. But what's the point? You want to get better. I want to learn how to not use, not drink. I had my practice then. So I was chanting every day, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I thought, now this is the time to really use this, to deepen, to take it seriously, to have faith that you have Buddhahood, that you can become enlightened. You can bring forth wisdom through your doubts, through your pain, through your suffering. And there were days I cried, uncontrollable tears. I wanted to give up. All this stuff was coming up. But I kept chanting. I kept doing gongyo. I had faith. So instead of using on all those uncomfortable emotions and all the pain and suffering, I started to climb the mountain. I started to face it. I wasn't perfect, but I had my practice. And that's what I used, chanting. Gongyo, Shodai. Study. Is it true? Do I have Buddha nature? Am I Buddha? Can I become a better person? Is it true I can manifest this life state they call Buddhahood? Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I practice hard. And the fog sort of lifted. And my shame, because I wasn't behaving in the way I used to before. I was in a safe environment. I was in rehab. I started to feel better. Something started to grow in me. I started to get some clarity. I started to get some self-awareness, the group work that we did. Who was I? What's going on? Why am I like I am? That's when I started to understand. I wasn't well. I had to get better. I realized what recovery was. This isn't just about recovery. This is my awakening. This is my awakening. This is me waking up to my real self, my true self. The possibilities, the potential that I had. It was like I was returning to self. And I was discovering who I'd always been. what was always there. My Buddhahood, the Buddha in me. It always existed within my life, in my heart, deep in my life. The more I see, the more I liked myself. Yeah. I started to heal myself, heal my relationship with myself, make amends with myself. Starting to support other people, doing something meaningful, using my negative shit, my horrible experiences, transforming it through practice into my awakening. This is Sun Lotus. Sun Lotus Recovery is about transformation, taking the mud, the dirty swamp of your life, of your addiction, and making a beautiful lotus flower grow out of it. And the lotus flower needs the darkness, needs the pain, needs the muddy swamp of our existence to create itself, to transform the poison into medicine. So if you're watching this, that can be you too. No matter how far down you think you've fallen, no matter what pain you're in, no matter what you've done, that's all done. No matter how lost you feel, no matter how deep your swamp is, your muddy swamp is, Buddha is always there inside, untouched, undefilable, in the depths. This is the path to take. It's not an easy path, climbing that mountain, but it's real and it works because I know, because I've climbed that mountain. 21 years drug and alcohol free, one step at a time, one day at a time, one gongyo at a time. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, chanting, climbing the mountain. And then one day you realise you're no longer that horrible person that you used to be. You're no longer in the darkness. You're no longer trying to reach the light. You've become the light. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.